There are monsters that kill humans. And then there are monsters that give up their lives to save them. This is the story of one such monster. In a quiet mountain village, surrounded by dark forests and cold winds, there lived a man named Adrian. He lived alone in a small cabin at the edge of the woods. The villagers rarely spoke to him. He was polite, quiet, and distant. But there was one strange thing everyone noticed. Every month, on the night of the full moon, Adrian disappeared into the forest, and he did not return until morning. Some villagers said he was meeting smugglers. Others whispered something far darker. But no one dared to follow him, except one person, a young woman named Elena. Elena had always believed that every mystery had an answer. And one night, when the full moon rose bright above the mountains, she decided to follow Adrian into the forest. Elena saw Adrian enter an old, dilapidated cabin deep in the woods. A few minutes later, Elena quietly moved closer and looked through a broken window. What she saw made her blood run cold. Inside the cabin, Adrian was wrapping thick iron chains around his own leg. He locked the chains to a heavy metal ring fixed in the floor, and then he waited. The moonlight fell across his face. At first, nothing happened, but then Adrian began to scream. His teeth turned into fangs. His hands became claws, with large nails and coarse, dark fur. His hair and ears morphed into those of a wolf. And within seconds, Adrian was gone. In his place stood a terrifying werewolf, growling and struggling against the chains. The creature howled into the night, a long, painful howl, not of hunger, but of suffering. Elena ran. The next morning, Adrian returned to the village as if nothing had happened. But Elena was waiting for him. Her voice trembled as she spoke.
I saw what happened to you, Adrian. I was there.
For a long moment, Adrian said nothing. Then he closed his eyes. And finally, he told the truth. Years ago, while traveling through the mountains, Adrian had heard a child screaming in the forest. When he reached the child, a monstrous wolf-like creature was about to attack her. Adrian fought the creature and saved the child. But during the fight, the beast bit him. The creature escaped, but the curse remained. Since that night, every full moon, Adrian turned into a monster. For 20 long years, he had chained himself in the forest, so that no one else would die. He told Elena quietly,
I am not afraid of becoming a monster, child. I'm only afraid of hurting someone.
Months passed. Elena kept Adrian's secret. The villagers continued their lives, unaware of the battle Adrian fought every month. But one winter night, everything changed. A pack of wild wolves entered the forest near the village, hungry, desperate, and bold enough to attack humans. Panic spread through the streets. People ran. Screams filled the air. Deep in the forest, inside the ruined cabin, Adrian heard the chaos. He knew what was happening, and he knew what he had to do. With a final effort, he snapped the chains holding him down. The werewolf burst from the cabin and ran toward the village. The villagers saw a nightmare charging toward them. A massive werewolf, fangs bared, eyes burning in the moonlight. But the creature did not attack the people. Instead, it leapt straight into the pack of wolves. The fight was brutal. Claws, teeth, blood in the snow. The wolves were strong, but the werewolf was stronger. One by one, the wolves fell or fled back into the forest. And when the battle was over, the monster collapsed in the snow. Elena, the only one who knew the werewolf's secret, came running. Then, something incredible happened, right in front of the villagers' eyes. The werewolf changed into a man, weak, wounded, barely breathing. It was Adrian, the quiet man from the edge of the village, the man they had always feared. He looked at Elena, sitting beside him, one last time, and smiled weakly. Then, he closed his eyes, forever. For 20 years, the villagers had believed a monster lived in the forest. But that night, they finally understood the truth. The monster had never hunted them. He had been protecting them all along. And sometimes, the bravest heroes are the ones the world fears the most.